Today we are working on this remix. For my homie Pedro Capellosi, on his label Refraction Records, which is a dope dubby kind of techno label. I've done a remix for him once before, not for him, but on his label. And now I'm doing a remix for him. So he also asked me in the comments, shout out to him, to go over some dub chord stuff. So I thought, what better way to do it than on his own remix. So it's kind of mostly done. I did this like a little while ago. And I think it's definitely worth reviewing, and then I probably will add some kind of extra chord kind of stuff in there. But I can flick through the track so you can give it a bit of a listen. Kind of dub housey, dub techno kind of tune. Nothing groundbreaking, but all sounds that I love. I've already got kind of these like floaty, dubby sounds in there at the moment. I've been using this SRX dance track thing from Roland, but it's still in my head in because this is the thing that keeps giving me like authorization errors. But it's working right now, so no one say anything. Okay, no one jinx it. It's standard stuff. I'm kind of just going through. To be honest with you, I think I've just picked out a random. Yeah, it's just playing a single note. And I've just chosen like a random patch. And then the same thing, I'm big on expression control, and that's just, all that's doing is affecting the filter every time it plays. And I just have put it on random in this instance, so it'll just randomly, every time the MIDI plays, it'll just randomly like hit the filter ever so slightly. It's very subtle, but I think a lot of this music is about like subtleties, you know. And then I got my color limiter saturation on it, which I think you should basically put saturation on everything. Doesn't matter what it is, just to some extent, it gives everything so much like tone and like character, as you would say. So I wish someone had told me that earlier. It took me forever to realize that. Like, you should basically be using like distortion and saturation, like everything, especially if you're working in the box. I mean, these things like kind of happen naturally, like when you are recording like through mics and through mixers and all that kind of stuff. But like, if you're just making shit in the box, then definitely be adding these kind of characters. It's the same with using a reverb as a room, you know. And then I got the Modnetic delay. So this is, if you haven't heard of it, like quite a powerful delay. I think I'm running pretty stock on a lot of things, except I've probably changed like the repeat echo time, and I usually bring down the intensity and the wow. To be honest with you, I think intensity is feedback, and then the wow is, I don't know, it might be like distortion actually. And it has all these different functions. I usually turn the noise down because when you have a few of these instances up, like it gets a bit too noisy, even though we want to add noise to things. But this is an awesome delay. And you can also modulate the delay, put a phaser, a flanger, a chorus on it. And you can change the routing and also add reverb. So this is, I haven't even touched this, and character, that must be like, yeah, lo-fi, oh, cool. So yeah, this is a really cool delay that I use for a lot of the kind of dubby stuff. And then I think for this other Dub Stab 2, I've literally just copied. Once I kind of come up with the sound that I like, I'll just like copy it and do it on the next channel. And then a bit of compression at the end, just because as the filter kind of floats along, and this might be, yeah, this is like on a different preset. As the filter kind of floats along, like some of the notes are going to hit like pretty hard. So it's just nice to kind of glue them all together and not have something like too like resonant and just like kind of distracting you and hurting your ears too much. So let's keep having a listen. I'm using a lot of his parts, like a lot of his pads, a few of his stabs. I even used a lot of his chords. I'm using a lot of the stuff from the original remix. The reason being because the original is also awesome, and I also find it actually quite challenging to remix songs that you like the originals of. It's like so much easier to remix a song if you're like not that into the original, I feel like, because then you can just like change it as much as you want and you don't feel like you're like ruining the song basically. But with this, there's a bit more pressure because you listen to it and you're like, oh, I like this and I want to make a good alternate version. I don't want to just, I want to be true to the original, you know? So I'm also running some, let's have a listen and I'll talk through more of it. Oh, a bit of acid, yeah. So he originally had an acid line in there, which I have taken, which sounds awesome. I think I haven't even done anything to it. I think I just added some delay, yeah. So I'm just using like this stock Ableton delay and the Modnetic again in my sends, and I'm just running it through there. I may have pitched it down actually. No, I haven't. So yeah, these aren't even doing anything, but it sounds good. That's all that matters. And then I just came up with this kind of my own acid line with the ABL3 Audio Realism. This is the pretty standard plugin, I feel like, for 303 in the box. I would imagine he's probably used this as well. If you haven't heard of it, it's awesome. I don't even think it's that expensive. And yeah, same thing. Expression control on the resonance, then a little bit of EQ, bit of chorus, bit of satin saturator. Yeah, just some delays. Like once again, not doing anything crazy. Side chaining, not sure why, but I'm sure there's a reason. Yeah. Excuse me. I don't like to sidechain like too much, but it is kind of nice, just as you can see, to just take the edge off a little bit so the kick like really pumps through. But like, you know, sometimes you sidechain too much and you're at risk of sounding like Deadmau5 in 2006, you know? So let's have a listen. Oh yeah, so I also added these little vocals in there, which I thought were cool. Something different. Just a bit of, that actually might even be me, and a bit of AI, I think. Yeah, I just recorded me saying Static Halo and then whacked it through some sort of AI shit. Got a spectral resonator on there, always makes stuff sound cool. And this, the Tantra, yeah, the Tantra is awesome, man. This is like a glitch box thing. To be honest with you, I just hit the randomizer. God knows what any of this stuff is doing. I think it's important sometimes to just kind of, how do you say it? Like you just fall into things, you know? Just sift through the mud, and I just keep hitting random until it sounds good. Sounds good. Lovely. Moving on. So yeah, and then I start to bring in these chords late. This is something I do quite often, and I am at risk of just like doing the same thing every time, but I like it and it sounds good, so I'll do it again. This is using Diva, but I originally came up with the chords for sure in Captain Play. Yeah, Captain Play is like, or Captain Chords. I think there's like 5 or 6 plugins that actually come with it when you buy it. And it's just like a really good, quick way to come up with chords. Basically, you can just put in a scale and it'll give you all the chords that are in that scale. It's quite limited within that, but it's just like a really quick way to just come up with like quick chords, and then you can kind of add on that and come up with more things. But there's this one preset called Churchy Pad, which sounds freaking wicked. It's kind of like an organ sound. So I just like always use it because why not? And I'm just doubling them up with Diva and using the formant filter. I ruined that a little bit. Let's go back. Backspin. As you can see, I think it sounds pretty cool. I'm really happy with this remix, actually. It's one of those things that just kind of came out and then it all flowed very easily, but now it's time to finish it, and that's always the hard part. But yeah, finally, let's get into maybe adding some extra chords. So I was thinking that even these dub chords here, they are quite background. Like there's nothing really like... There's obviously a lot going on with the chords, but there could be something that's a bit more dominant and takes the lead a bit more. So yeah, what am I doing on there? On his stabs, what's happening? Yeah, so these are the stabs that he like are from his song, and I have just added Tantra again. Same thing, just smacked random a few times. It hits you with a little kind of tremolo gate. Sorry, gate's the word I'm looking for, like a gate thing, and then filter, distortion, delay. So a lot of the times I might actually turn some of these off. You can just turn them off. But yeah, same thing, man. And then also you can kind of blend the mix in a little bit so it's not like completely overdoing it. But there is no secret sauce here. The secret sauce is finding the good parts. Do you know what I mean? So it's a little bit lazy, but if it sounds good, it is good. Basically all it's doing is being like a slap delay. I mean, let's be honest. So, and then same thing. I got a filter with... What is triggering the filter actually? That is a good question. Oh, I've just put the envelope up a little bit, and then the formant. There's just an LFO, so then this formant filter changes a little bit. Echo delay, nothing special. But once again, they are kind of all a bit background, so without the risk of just adding too much stuff and just piling it on, let's try and add something like another extra dub stab. I might even turn these off and just, we will decide whether we like them or not. So for these dub stab kind of things, I usually use Diva like every time. And I don't think it really matters what you use, but I like the sound of Diva, and I also just like the saw waves on Diva. So usually what I'll go to is just like these initialized like default settings and put it on number 8 or 6. Oh, that's a little bit loud. And then I will change some of the settings. So I'll usually always put like the velocity up for the envelopes, a little bit of resonance, pull the filter down, getting somewhere. Then sometimes I will throw the second oscillator on a seventh. So this sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't. If you want to play like anything more than a triad, I don't think it sounds very good. So that sounds quite nice. See if I reset it. It just adds a seventh and it just sounds really cool. You can also do that in the chord MIDI on this thing. Literally just hit one to the seventh and it basically is doing the same thing. So that's another cool trick. But then usually what I would do is I would figure out a chord first, to be honest. I can't remember what key this is in, so just give me a moment while I figure that out. Actually, I just remembered that I've written it in Captain Play. So yeah, C sharp minor. So I'm playing an F sharp minor, which I assume is in that scale. I'm just going to see, let's just go with that for now. This might actually change the vibe of the track a lot, but let's just see what this does. So this is pretty standard for me. I'll just be a little bit lazy. Let's get my quantize settings up. So when I'm quantizing, I'll just put it on like 50%. I usually don't do the end, but I definitely want the start. So let's quantize that. So maybe I'll borrow this. I'm going to copy the same pattern because I think that sounds cool. Dun, 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 dun. This could be a good little groove for like the first part of the song, because in the second part, like the chords come in and that kind of takes. Cool. There's a bit going on, but I'm happy with that for now. As always, I'll probably end up changing it. But so once I got this going, yeah, nice. It's adding some effects. So yeah, same thing. I'd probably usually go for like a saturator plugin. Sorry. Something like the color limiter. Just bang the saturation up on that. Maybe even the tape. So there is a tape cassette. This is free. This thing is free and it's freaking good, man. So definitely use this. And then after that, I'm just going to bring filter down a little bit. And then we start filtering, which is really the key to all of this, I feel like. That's the wrong thing. I usually would try to get 2 instances up. See, that sounds pretty dope, and there's not much happening. Trusty expression control. Excuse me, I think I said in the last video, I've been sick for like the last 2 weeks, so my throat and chest are a bit cooked at the moment, so I'm sorry if I keep making these sounds. Very professional down here, obviously. That's the wrong thing. So expression control, I just think is the best thing ever, and everyone should be using it. So I'm going to put on increment, remote, map. Like, see how much movement that gives it, and it's like you're not even doing anything. So sometimes. And then maybe this one could be high passing. I will say that the LFO on these, on the filter is like always a bit, even the slowest setting is like still too quick. I wish it went down to like 0.01. Bit of feedback, I'm sure you love. And then what else do I have? I would go, yeah, we can go magnetic. Or we can even use echo in case you don't have that, and that's just, God damn it. Actually, you know what? That can stay. Happy accidents, my friend. So I kind of oscillate between like putting delays on the actual channel and just using the sends. Another cool thing, I'm just going to see what sounds better. I don't think there's any rules to it really. Like, just do what sounds good, which is the boring answer, but it's true. Another thing I forgot to do is I really like the phaser in Diva, so I'm going to use that. I think what could be cool is if it actually slid up. I don't know, I mean, it doesn't sound bad. I wouldn't mind, yeah. So for every second one, I'm just going to consolidate that. I'm going to add this note. That's the wrong note. And then maybe... This is quite musical for like that music, but I don't know. I'm going to leave that second one out. I think it's too much clashing. Let's leave that for now. I think it sounds cool. Now, another thing is, which can be quite cool, is when you, on the sends, you can enable the send on the send. So you're basically just making feedback, which is a really nice dubby sound. So I'll play with that. I'm just going to get rid of this one. And then usually what I like to do is make chords like this. And then I will then go through and I'll actually like take things out because it's quite busy, right? So, and it's kind of like the notes that you don't play. It's kind of like reverse engineering a little bit. So. And then I'll go, let's just have a listen. Maybe leave that one. I think that needs to be compressed. Oops. I'm gonna start again. Another thing that I like to do is add the root note just one below. So just to kind of beef it up a bit, you know. And now this is the fun part, right? So what I usually would do now is, because this is just MIDI, right? And then as you can see, it's quite repetitive. So what I would do is then record like somewhat of a live take. So I would go in and I would just route the audio. Sorry, I gotta just set my... Actually, I don't think this matters. Yeah, it doesn't. So let's go input from stab new. Just down here. Where is it? Am I so blind? And then I'm just gonna like record it to audio, but mess with the parameters as you would like if you actually had a synth, because it just makes like every single stab differently, and then I would resample those, you know? So I think it just can add way more variation. Plus you can then pick out the stabs and like the kind of tones and sounds that you like, because sometimes when you're just using automation or like just modulating things, and then you like bounce out a whole track, like some of it sounds good and some of it doesn't, and it's a bit annoying because it's kind of a bit unpredictable. So if you just like bounce it to audio and then, or record it to audio, and then you grab the audio clips that you like, then you can always put like the good sounding ones in there basically. So that is something I also like to do. So let's do that. And I'm gonna this is our one from before. I'm just gonna let it play for a bit. We'll see how long we go until I'm satisfied, basically. So, cool. Oh, I forgot to turn this. Actually, that doesn't matter. It's just a bit loud. Sorry. Yeah, I'll let one like play out, and then I'm gonna start messing with stuff. Okay, let's see how that came out. I recorded that quite a low volume, didn't I? Oh well. So let's just boost that. Not the biggest deal. Oh, why'd I do that? Yeah, cool. Done. So let's have a listen. Bit of noise in there, isn't there? And then I might even just switch it around sometimes. See what that sounds like. So let's go this. So, and then, let's go back, yeah. And then I would put another MIDI channel, and I'm going to resample that. So let's go. I think resampling is like really powerful, you know. And you can just mess up sound so much that they'll sound like really original to like the music you make. Basically, instead of just using like presets, well, I mean, which I still do, but like sometimes if you want to get really creative, you can just like resample and resample and resample, and then add effects on top of that. And then like, before you know it, like the thing that you started with can sound like so different at the end. And it's just like, as I said, like a really original way of making music. It also is like really fun. It's like really creative, you know? See, I really like that one, right? So then probably what I would do is I would duplicate it and then have like, basically, like this is my take lane or whatever, and then I would just like copy things over. So there we go. There you go, like this. Turn that up. See, I like that one. So maybe I could borrow that. Oh yeah, that's really nice, that one. So this one I might borrow it. I also might put it into a MIDI channel. Might even save that for future, you know. Now you just have like a cool stab that you've made. Sounds dope. So let's have a listen. I might just use some of these. I'm just gonna try and make something. Not sure about that high thing anymore, but oi, my bad. I'm thinking that goes too long too. I think it's always nice to kill the tails of things when they hit with drums. So what I mean by that is, see this note goes like for quite a while, but then if you visualize it with the clap, just have it stop at the clap, and it really brings clarity to like a lot of the stuff that you're doing. So see, that sounds freaking cool. Up. See, that's dope. We're getting somewhere now. So funky. Bum, bum. And you could also use a gate for this, but sometimes I'll just literally cut the tails off and it's just like suddenly so punchy. But you got the delays in there, you know? A gate kind of does the same thing, but I just feel like it's a bit more like, is concise the word? I don't know. Yeah, concise when you actually like cut the audio, you know? Ba, boom, chuck, boom, 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 ba-dum. See now. Or that one maybe. See, when I like feedback this echo, it gets like super dubby. It sounds so cool, man. Ooh, I love that one. Maybe. Where's that one coming from? Is it that one? No. Yeah, I might just like take this one out for that first bit. Sometimes, yeah, it's just like a little bit going on, too much going on. And then maybe you could go. Oh, that's cool. See? This is where you can make like really cool grooves, you know? Pop it up. Fuck yeah, dude. This sounds sick. I think I like that. That's really groovy. Yeah. Gonna do the same thing. I'm cutting that off. Let's borrow that. Yeah. See, then you could like go narrow. Maybe you can borrow that for the start. Yeah, man. You're definitely getting somewhere. Yeah, I'm big on working with audio, man. Just maybe borrow that there. And then this is gonna be a ta-da, I reckon. Yeah, dude, it sounds really cool. Okay, let's have a quick listen and then I might be done. Let's just give that, excuse me. I'm gonna save that. So yeah, you get the gist. I mean, I'm gonna go through and just make like different variations of this, but it's essentially like what I've just done there. And then you can go as nuts as you want, you know what I mean? But the thing is, like, less is more. I think admittedly, like at the start, I mean, even now, I'll always like put extra stabs in, but then like the more I listen to the song, I'll actually like take things out. I think it's important to just be as creative as possible and just whack it all on the canvas and just go, this is a cool idea, whack it down. This is a cool idea, whack it down. Like while those juices are flowing, like use them, you know what I mean? But then when you are kind of running out of ideas, then you can kind of go back and listen and do like more arrangement stuff. And then you start to think, okay, it's too busy. I'll take this stab out there, and you can kind of work backwards, you know what I mean? But yeah, I hope that was helpful. That was really enjoyable. Thanks for watching as always. And yeah, keep asking questions. I'm happy to cover stuff like all the time.